Okay, I didn't have to go very far for the Colony Club. It's 2 doors down from the Carousel, so it's it's on the same block. And boy, what a rivalry they had. You know, you had basically 2 Jewish guys who owned these 2 clubs 2 doors down from one another, and they were in competition with each other. Abe Weinstein owned the Colony Club, and he said my club was a true nightclub. His was just a joint. And so you have Abe Weinstein, a Jewish guy who owned, and then we already know Jacob Rubenstein was Jewish, owned the Carousel Club. And Ruby was insanely jealous of Weinstein and his high-end clientele that he didn't have. He was always trying to chip into the Colony and Abe Weinstein's clientele list, which both of these nightclubs, you want to call them both nightclubs, were located right across the street from this beautiful Adolphus Hotel. And if you walk out the front entry of the Adolphus Hotel and you look across the street, you have on the left, as you face straight ahead, Ruby's Carousel Club, which was a seedy looking joint. And then to the right, you had the Colony Club, which had the appearance of a sort of a nice exclusive nighttime entertainment place. And so, you know, most of the people from the Adolphus went over to the Colony Club, and that just bugged Jack Ruby to no end. I don't really have much to show you as far as the Colony Club. It's going to look the same as what I showed you for the Carousel. It's the same building now, but it's in that same block. So I'm just going to focus the camera and tell you about Beverly Oliver, who was one of the acts listed on, she was on the marquee on November 22nd, along with 3 others. We know her as the Babushka Lady. During the daytime, when she wasn't working, she went down, and we found out later, she wore this funny looking Russian scarf, which is why they call her the Babushka Lady. She went down to the infield, Dealey Plaza, to watch the president's motorcade. She was only 17 years old. She's just a kid, which makes you wonder how she got hired by Abe Weinstein. Anyway, she's only 17 years old, and she knew Jack Ruby well, obviously. She's 2 doors down from him, and she frequently visited the Carousel as she had made friends with Geneva White. Geneva White worked at the Carousel, and of course she was Roscoe White's wife. She was a cigarette girl. And so she would go visit Geneva, and Geneva sometimes would come to the Colony and visit Beverly, so she knew her. And by extension, she knew all the people in Geneva White's orbit. Her husband, Roscoe, Jack Ruby, obviously, Lee Harvey Oswald, David Ferry, all these people, because they all sat at the same table and hobnobbed. Ruby actually taught Beverly to shoot a handgun, and she knows why he pulled the trigger on Lee Harvey Oswald using his middle finger. Evidently, Ruby had maimed his trigger finger earlier in his life, and so he used his middle finger to aim more accurately at the intended target. So that's interesting, a little bit of trivia. Because she spent so much time at the Carousel, Oliver, as I said, got to know Geneva White and Roscoe, and testified after the assassination that it was, quote, Geneva White's husband whom she encountered as she ran up to the grassy knoll from her spot on the infield grass. She said White emerged from behind the picket fence coming down the steps on the grassy knoll. As we know, this is not the only witness that saw Roscoe White behind the picket fence after the assassination. Bobby Hargis, the Dallas police officer, actually found him back there. He was wearing his uniform, had his hat and his badge, etc., etc. So we know Roscoe White, it was confirmed by those 2 witnesses, was behind the picket fence seconds after the shooting. We know by his confession, and I could go down that road again. We also know Ed Hoffman and Lee Bowers, the witnesses behind the picket fence, that 2 men were back there, which completely matched the confession that Roscoe White gave later. But anyway, that's another story. So she said she didn't identify him as Roscoe White because she really wasn't. Her friendship was with Geneva, but she knew him very well, obviously. She said it was Geneva White's husband. While visiting the Carousel Club, Beverly recounts that Jack Ruby introduced her to Lee Harvey Oswald. She said, quote, Ruby told her, quote, "Bev, this is my friend Lee Oswald of the CIA." And she said she sat with him for about 10 minutes, and she had come to speak to fellow female entertainer Jada. So she, like I said, she was in and out the Carousel all the time, even though she worked for the Colony Club. Lee Harvey Oswald, according to her, drank a, quote, Cuba Libre with no alcohol, just a slice of lime. She said Oswald was very quiet and sat slumped in a chair. On another occasion at the Carousel Club, Oswald heckled an entertainer named Wally Weston. And Beverly said that Jack Ruby actually bounced him out of the clubs to get out of here. And in the months leading up to the assassination, she said there's no doubt in her mind that Jack Ruby and Oswald were well acquainted with one another. So here again, you know, we already have Jada, we have now we have Beverly Oliver, and we have all these people. You know, we went to the B&B restaurant yesterday. 2 waitresses saw them together. I mean, it's just everywhere you look. Everywhere you look. David Ferry was a suspect in Garrison investigation in New Orleans in the Clay Shaw trial. And according to Beverly Oliver, she said, I saw him numerous times at the Carousel as well. I told you he had his own taxi cab. Would bring it, a taxi driver. Beverly said, quote, the first time was in September. He was not very friendly with the customers, but was very friendly with the dancers. If you know David Ferry, that makes complete sense. Beverly recounted that David Ferry was there so often, she mistook him for being an assistant manager. And he would often play gin rummy, say that 5 times fast, and at times was on the premises simultaneously with Oswald hanging out. So, my goodness. So, Jada and Beverly Oliver now place, and Rose Cheramy, another one, all place these characters all together. And the Carousel Club seems to be the epicenter of all things Ruby, Oswald, Ferry, J.D. Tippett, Roscoe White, Geneva White, Beverly Oliver, Jada, Rose Cheramy. It's all happening out of this Carousel Club. The reason I mention the Colony Club is because it's important to rope Beverly Oliver into this story, and that's where she worked. Okay, so that's the Colony Club and the Carousel Club. Next, Dallas Morning News.